Thank you so much. I quite like this Let's Talk app that he's built because it really just allows community members to engage with municipalities. So I'm hoping over in the long run that it will be one of those services or those apps that actually reduce this number of protests that we see because of service or lack of service delivery in townships and especially in rural areas. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Mwepi. Next, we have Amanda. Amanda William.
Hello.
It's your turn, my girl.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm Amanda Williams. I'm a student nurse at UKZN. I recently started a business where I saw skincare products with cannabis, CBD oil, and essential oils. Basically,
don't be out of breath. Take a deep breath in and slow down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what inspired me to do this was the information and the research that's been done on cannabis lately, which basically, in short, it targets inflammation, arthritis. It's been proved to help with cancer. So there's a lot of information that's being done, a lot of research that's been done, and I thought I'd just sort of help people with acne skin, rosacea, eczema. But at the moment, I'm basically doing like bot stuff, body scrubs, bot balms, just for relaxation, chronic pain, and all of those things.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda. This is a very innovative and new industry that you go in, especially now that the licensing has been opened up. The value chains are quite expensive. I'm quite excited that you're in this field in particular. Good job.
And basically trying to help healing the body the natural way.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, quite a lot of people are also becoming anti-vaccines and all those kind of things. But we actually need to find natural remedies. So good job.
Thank you so much.
Good job. Breathe, Nana. Breathe, na.
I'm breathing now. Thank you for this lovely opportunity.
Awesome. Andile, you're back. You were here yesterday as well, weren't you? If I remember correctly.
Yes, okay. Yeah. As I was saying, that the perfumes last on your skin up to 6 hours, a minimum of 6 hours, then on your clothes up to 2 washes. That's the competitive advantage of my fragrance. And then we are so authentic because if you can see, like, follow us on the social media, you can see like the brand. We put so much work on the brand because we're using a well-known Basotho hat, which is called Mokoroto Mudianya. We opted to use it rather than a crown because we feel like a crown is overused. Everyone that comes up with a brand, they use a crown, but then we thought, like, let's just use a hair that's gonna resonate with our people. So yeah, it's basically just it about me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Andile, please make sure that you do share your social media handles in the chat group so that we can see more of your perfumes and we can come out and support you. Okay, I'm going to take two more people, and then we should actually get into starting our program so we don't run late. Shubi is already joined us. I don't know if you can even feel her energy. I mean, the moment I saw her pop up in the chat saying hello, I was just like, oh no, the energy levels have just gone up.
Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Yes. I miss you, baby. Good morning.
I miss you too. How are you doing?
Good powering possibilities, y'all.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Okay, so we're just going to take one or two more people to tell us about their businesses, and then we're going to start off with our program, yeah?
Awesome.
The next person, Refile Siahlodi.
Can you hear me? Sorry, I got excited.
Loud and clear, baby.
Okay, cool. I'm Rufila Sakiri from GEW Design. We do branding, social media marketing, and website for companies, for startup companies. Please check out our website, gewdesign.co.za, for more of our work. So basically what we do branding, logo design, business cards, websites, and we also handle your social media marketing. So we do your post content and do the tracking and give you feedback at the end of the day, or at the end of the month. So you can check out our website at gewdesign.co.za for more of our work. Cool.
Awesome. Good job. Was that not a pitch? Like in 2 minutes flat, she solved all your problems right then and there. So if you are listening to the social media or the digital marketing session on Monday and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Maybe I should outsource it. It sounds like Refula is the person to outsource it to. Next person, Raviko. Babwan.
Ndi Macheroni.
Di Macheroni Zabuti.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for allowing me to come into this platform. My name is Roviko Mkondo. I'm from Limpopo. My company is called Roviko Matras. I've had the opportunity to pitch at the 2018 67 CEOs Global Entrepreneurship Week.
I still remember you actually.
And you did not,
from then.
You did
Hi,
not
Slam, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. You did not just have opportunity to pitch. You were one of the winners.
Yes.
Please
Thanks for that opportunity.
You're
yes.
welcome.
Our business basically, we want to be in each and every community in South Africa and across Africa, because each and every community has got a child development center. So our business, we supply kids mattress specifically for the early childhood development centers. So everyone out there, as we were championing our message in 2018, that we're still doing now, is that everyone out there is our partner, especially if they're in the manufacturing of upholstery or making kids mattress. So thanks to this platform, we are available through our emails. We're still not yet that much digital. It's something that we're looking forward to learning through this engagement. That will be good.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to stop it here for now. We will try and find another opportunity within today's session to continue with this. But like I said earlier, take the opportunity to share your stuff in the chat box. Share your social media handles. Tell us what you do. Tell us what you need. Let us find ways to assist you, whether as a customer buying from you or somebody that is coming through to collaborate with you in order to make this work. So for the past few days, we have been talking about the pitch contest, which entries open this afternoon. So after today's session, you will be able to enter your pitch if you're from Mpumalanga or Limpopo. But Sam, today we were going to have Katu from Dropper give his keynote address. Unfortunately, he's had to cancel. Instead, Sam is going to spend some time talking to us about the pitch competition. How does it work? How do you prepare for all of these things? And some pointers, because we really want good winners this year. We really want to give great opportunities to SMEs. Sam, over to you.
Thank you so much, Marang. And for all the entrepreneurs that have joined us, thank you so much for joining us. We are very privileged to have you in our midst.
Pitching. Are you an entrepreneur based in Limpopo or Mpumalanga? Do you have what it takes to win a share of 200,000 Rand in grant funding? Then register today on www.67ceos.org. Participate in the masterclass sessions on how to effectively implement digital marketing strategy. Submit your 2-minute business pitch video to be one of the 6 winning SMMEs in Limpopo and Mpumalanga only. To be eligible, make sure you participate in the masterclass sessions during the 67 CEOs Global Entrepreneurship Week. from 16 to 21 November 2020. Submit your 2-minute business pitch video, which should include your business name, industry, and province of operation, which must be Limpopo or Mpumalanga. The lessons learned from the digital marketing masterclasses, and how you will spend the cash prize for the sustainability of your business. Also ensure that your business is registered, operational for more than 1 year, and have a business bank account with tax compliance. Upload your pitch on all major social media platforms. You know them: LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and tag @67CEOs. Don't forget the hashtags. Hashtag 67CEOs GEW 2020 and hashtag powering possibility. Entries will open on the 16th and close on the 20th of November at 4 p.m. The panel of independent adjudicators will announce the winners on the 21st of November and notify them by email. Terms and conditions apply. Hashtag 67CEOs GEW 2020 in partnership with Exaro Resources. Hashtag powering possibility. For inquiries, contact the email below and let the pitch begin.
And I believe you understand what is required in order to be able to pitch. So let me put some disclaimers out there. Part of the reasons why we couldn't extend the pitching to the entire SMMEs in South Africa, I've mentioned this before, I'm just reiterating and to put it on record. The reason why we couldn't do so is because of one, limited resources on 67 CEOs' part, and secondly, our our partner Exaro Resources, they intend to focus their impact and spend on their host communities, and their host communities where their minds are Limpopo and Mpumalanga. Those are the provinces, and specifically in Lephalale and somewhere around Emalafleni in Mpumalanga. So that is part of the reasons why this the pitching is reserved for those entrepreneurs in the provinces. Having said that, as you would have seen, that entrepreneurs and SMME owners across South Africa have been joining us for the masterclass and all the other sessions. So again, it's great to have you here. Now, what I would like to also mention one thing. Please, if you are based in Limpopo and in Mpumalanga and you are eligible to pitch, listen carefully to this following points. Number one, we are not accepting pitches via email. And I said that because one of you emailed a video pitch, and video by its nature has big bandwidth or size, as it were. And you can imagine if we have to accept video pitches, via email, what that is going to do to our email disk space. We intentionally request that you submit your pitch on social media platforms. Why? Because number one, it's an open platform. And we take transparency and accountability very seriously. So that's number one. They are open platforms. Secondly, these social media platforms, they have the capacity to take as much file size as you can upload. They are built to take such capacities. Our email, and I want to tell you now, no one's email is built for the capacity to be receiving a lot of videos as files. Emails are built for text and some images, as it were. So for transparency and accountability, that is the reason why we said, put your pitch on social media platform. Please, guys, adhere to this simple instruction, if I may. Having said that, please make sure that your business is truly registered in those two provinces. I will repeat them, Limpopo and Mpumalanga. Your business must be domiciled and operational since, or registered and operational since 2019 or older. Why? The reason is because we wouldn't want people that just registered business because they saw the opportunity, and they just went ahead and registered business online, which costs 75 rand or 175 rand. So we are looking for entrepreneurs that have been running their business and truly need help because of the impact of COVID-19. Hence, part of the theme of the Global Entrepreneurship Week 2020 is survive and thrive. We want to contribute to the survival of your business and how you thrive beyond 2020 and the impact of COVID-19. Very shortly, I am going to play some sample pitch videos. And the reason for that is to guide you and so that you can see. Later after I would have played video, later in my discussion, in my fireside discussion with Klubi, she's also going to demonstrate it live and also assist you. However, I want to play this some videos that will show you how we've done it before, one, and some of the videos that were submitted online.
Hi, my name is Busisiwe Nduli. I'm a founder and a business lead at BCN Consultancy that is based in Gauteng. Our company aids at grooming professionals on how to portray leadership presence through emotional intelligence, personal development, as well as a leadership influence. We have identified a need to assist business owners, entrepreneurs, and employees on how to handle their emotions, but most importantly, on how to build rewarding relationships. We have worked with APSA Experience and recently recently we've worked with the BMF student chapter at the Tshwane University of Technology. We need this competition because we want to upgrade our website, but most importantly, we want to upgrade our services in order to be relevant in this digital age. And we hope that this competition, it will all be ours because we truly need assistance. Thank you very much.
Second time. Now, again, I'm just analyzing our page. She mentioned her name, what the business is about, where they're based, and their business model. That is part of what we want to see. I'm going to play another one.
Good afternoon. I'm from Funda. We're based in Johannesburg, Gauteng. We're a team of 6 and we're operating the EdTech and HR tech space. And our solution is a digital solution to bursary and scholarship providers across South Africa. And our platform has features that have intuitive analytics, meaning that they can search and filter through thousands of locations in under 5 minutes from across South Africa. And this allows for paperless tracking, and our data is verified and secure. And for learners, it means that they can create a single profile and have access to a world of opportunities. For companies, we save them on time and resources. And going into a post-COVID-19 world where talks of the matric year being extended, companies are not able to do their usual road shows. What we would use the money on is on strengthening our marketing and also adding integrations onto our platform like CV builders. And how we plan to access niche areas in the country is through partnerships with NGOs that are already offering career guidance opportunities to learners. Thank you.
Wow. Cabello also was one of the winners during the Mega Pitch Fest 2020, which was the 67 CEOs COVID-19 relief program. So there are two distinctions or a few distinctions between Busisiwe's pitch and Cabello's speech. Busisiwe was looking straight into the camera. She looked straight into the camera and she pitched her business from A to Z without necessarily looking elsewhere. You can pitch your business like that if you are comfortable. However, you would notice that Cabello had his points written down. He wasn't reading from his notes. He had his points laid down on a note, and he was picking his points and pitching it into the camera. Also, they were well lit, meaning, just the way you can see me clearly. Make sure that when you are pitching your business, there is enough light, and obviously the camera is facing you so that we can hear you correctly and accurately. That's part of what I have to share with you. Lastly, I need to play this video for you guys. Let's see.
The deals that got funded, the entrepreneur was able to articulate the vision in 90 seconds or less. The idea was so blindingly simple that you could understand it in a minute. This is a cupcake. We put it in a jar. We ship it to people for $6.95. I get it. This is a groove book. I carved a groove in it so I could ship it at the price of a magazine. I get it. See what I'm saying? All right. 100% of the cases, 90 seconds or less. Number two, in every case, the entrepreneur, usually a team, over 80% of the time, were able to articulate why they were the right people to execute the business plan. What credentials, what confidence, what experience, why were they able to take an idea and turn it into a business? Very important. Present in 100% of the deals that got financed. Now, this is far more sinister, this last point, because in front of me, multiple times, I have seen deals that are now like an isotope sizzling. The first two are present, sharks are fighting, everybody wants in, and then this happens. In 100% of the time that people got financed, they were able to answer every single question about their business model and their numbers with perfection. When you're sitting listening to an entrepreneur and you start to ask them, how much market share do you need to break even? What's your margins? How large is the market? How fast is it growing? Who's your number one competition? How much free cash flow do you think you'll make in the first 3 years? If you can't answer those questions, or you make a mistake, or you seem lost, you're screwed. This is really important. This last one's a killer. And I want you to remember that, because I tell entrepreneurs today, if you're not good with numbers, bring someone who is. It's incredibly important.
So that was Kevin O'Leary. He's known as Mr. Wonderful, famously known as Mr. Wonderful. And he's one of the Shark Tank's investors. He said something which was very important, that 100% of the time, entrepreneurs that are funded, they know their business in and out. And that is part of what we want you to demonstrate also, how you know your business in and out. All the videos that I've shared with you, they are available on 67 CEO's Twitter page. Go to our Twitter page, you will find all the videos on our media section of Twitter. And some of them also are available on our Instagram page. And you will find some other great content that can assist you to understand pitching better on 67 CEO's YouTube channel. I hope that some of these nuggets that I've shared would help you to be able to pitch your business in a very succinct way and deliver your business model through your pitching. And I use this opportunity to wish all of the entrepreneurs that are going to be pitching all the best. And like Matlodi said in that video, let the pitch begin. Thank you very much, Marang.
Let the pitch begin indeed. Like I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing what kind of businesses exist in Limpopo and in Mpumalanga, because sometimes we are in separate provinces and we don't get to know the story of the businesses in different provinces. And when you go to pitch contests, or at least in the times that I've participated, especially with 67 CEOs moving around the country, we get exposed to business we'd never otherwise hear of, and this is always excites me. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing a huge number of people submitting their pitches for this particular contest. Now, in the past 2 days, we've had very insightful masterclasses. I really would like to know, what is it that you plan to do with what you have learned, right? So in the chat box, please just share give us feedback in terms of what you have learned so far. What is it that you plan to do for your business? And the reason I ask this is because often after a masterclass, you hear entrepreneurs speak so excitedly about the goals they have to grow the business to the next level. The unfortunate thing is, most of you don't actually set up either business processes or build teams that will actually make it possible for you to reach your goals. And this, for me, is a bit of a letdown. And maybe because my work focuses on business processes, but I really, really would like to see people not just have goals, but I would like to see people actually go out there and implement their goals. So do the work. Make sure that you have an operations team and systems and processes within the business that actually support the growth of your business, so that we have less people relying on luck and prayers for success, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not disqualifying luck and prayer in your journey for success at all, but it cannot be the only thing that you rely on. So just in the chat box quickly before we switch over to Hlubi and the fireside chat with Sam and Hlubi, what is it that you have learned in the past 2 days? We've had a session with Lebo on digital marketing on Monday, and yesterday we spoke about the business model and digitalizing your business model. What is it that you have learned that you're going to put into your business? You are welcome to raise your hand or put it in the chat box. What is it that you're going to implement? And if you're going to implement this thing and you're stuck on, but I don't know who to work with or I don't know what tool to use to do this thing, please also say that so that we can just share some ideas in terms of how to help you actually achieve your goals so that they don't just sit there and you just, I always say to people after an event, there's a lot of, the smell of paraffin is in the air, because literally people are just walking out on fumes, on very high fumes. They're so excited. And then when we say, how's business going? They damper because they haven't actually actioned any of the stuff that they planned to do. They're not as motivated as they were, right? So let's put in some actions. What is it that you have learned in the past 2 days? What is it that you intend to achieve as a business? Let's go for it. Hands up. Let's hear from you. All of a sudden, you're shy. Refile, let's hear, what are you going to do?
Okay, so I only joined yesterday. I missed the Monday. I missed the time, by the way. But yesterday with Vusi, I kind of liked what he said about the fact that don't try to do everything by yourself, and also don't try to master everything at all. And one of the things that I know I'm struggling with is to actually have a team together. So I'm like, okay, I plan on doing 1, 2, 3, but getting the right people to help me do those, it's like, it's quite slow because you also don't trust people and like if they're going to do the work. So one of the things that I know I'm struggling with is actually, I do have a plan, but how do I put it onto action? Because currently I'm doing everything by myself. And he mentioned yesterday, don't try to do everything by yourself. Just do what you know and then get everyone else to do it. And the other thing was the patience. He was like, you need to have patience on whatever it is that you're doing. And because I'm doing everything by myself, my patience is kind of running out. But yes, that's one of the things is like getting a right team for me is that how can I get the right team, and how can I do know that sometimes you need to have an intent so that you can give them experience, but I also don't want to exploit anyone. So it's like, how do I get there without exploiting them and actually putting things into action, because team is quite hard to create.
Okay. Refila, you are actually going through something that every business owner goes through, particularly in the first 3 years of building a business. So you are not alone. What I'm going to do for you, right? So this is the sort of work that I do with entrepreneurs. I'm actually hosting a workshop next week, specifically focusing on how to build your processes and teams around this. So I'm going to do your solid. I'm going to give you a ticket to the session next week. So if I can ask you to just send me a message with your email address, and then I will give you a ticket to the session next week. And hopefully this will get your mindset in terms of how to build the right team going forward. Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Matume, what have you learned in the past 2 days? What are you implementing? What are we going to see from you?
Good day, how are you?
Awesome, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm Matumi Mutalani from Polokwane, and I'm the founder of Mangawi Animal Feeds. So I learned a lot starting with Lebo Lion when she was using the PSSO framework about the program, statistics, solution, and offering, and that your product must be scalable and must be innovative and sustainable. So I also learned a lot about from Vusi Tembekwayo as of yesterday about his journey into an entrepreneurial space by trying to sell his book and his knowledge of understanding the financial markets, and also about the the Altex, whereby the companies they dropped on the JSE. So that one also gave me a strength so that I can work hard on my business and also become one of the listed small business which will also thrive to grow and utilize all the trade relations between South Africa and other African countries.
Awesome. Yeah. I think that was quite important because sometimes we are narrowed in just the world that we live in, and we forget that there's so many external elements that influence our business. So I actually enjoyed listening to, looking at the wider scope of this global village and things that affect us as business owners. Well done on you, Matume. Are you going to enter the pitch, Matume?
Yes, definitely.
Jovicho, I want to see you there.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Tebogo, let's take you, and then let's take Tsogofatso, and then get ready for our fireside chat with Sam and Hlubi. Tebogo, Chaka?
Yes. So for me, I think one of the things that came up for me for the past 2 days was how we need to be human-centered, in everything that we deliver to our customers, understanding the pain points of our customers and not designing things that we think would work, but actually taking the time to do research and getting feedback and iterating our ideas on that, so that they are centered around the people that we are creating for.
Awesome. Good job.
If you allow me, what...
You're my boss, Sam. I can't just deny you.
No. What Tebogo just said, it's absolutely on point. And every single successful business practice that. They make sure that they are serving the need of their customers. Guys, and Vusi said it earlier, and he said it yesterday, don't be too emotional about your business. Your business must be about the customers. Yes, you can get excited about an idea and think, oh, you know what, I love this thing and it's going to fly because I love it. Everybody's going to love it. No, this is business. Make sure that your business is about serving the need of people. And once you can do that, you then scale and look for a large number of people that have the same issue or problem, and you continue to serve them either physically or virtually, as it were. Thank you very much, Tebogo and Marak.
Yeah, that's a very important thing to highlight. And often we hear business owners talk about the business is my baby, it's my baby. And unfortunately, when you start thinking of it like that, it's so hard to delegate. It is so hard to collaborate. It is so hard to share your ideas because you're so overly protective of my baby. This is a business. You're going to grow it. You're going to have to share it with other people in order for the success to happen in some way or other. Tsegofatso, I am going to give you an opportunity, and then I have to start the fireside chat. Tsegofatso is from Catwalk Lodge in Pretoria.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. So now my biggest challenge is, yes, the business is for the people, and we're trying to solve a problem of making a home away from a home for our guests. We've got a spa, we've got everything, but my biggest challenge is getting the traffic in. So as much as COVID has happened, business is very slow. Yes, you need to know your niche, but how do you direct the traffic is my biggest challenge. Unfortunately, I missed the first 2 sessions. This is my first day, and I can't help but wonder what happened in those 2 sessions. But yeah, that is my...
Well, you don't need to worry about the stuff that you have missed, because the videos are on the 67 CEO's YouTube channel. So you will be able to get the masterclass that Lebo gave on Monday, and you will have access to Vusi's one. I believe it's being uploaded today, and you should be able to get it. So the videos, for everyone that has missed these last 2 days, you are able to access the YouTube, the videos via the 67 CEO's Foundation YouTube channel. Please subscribe, and then you'll have all of the content, so you wouldn't have missed out too much, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So it gets super duper exciting. Like I warned you, the energy levels are about to get elevated. Next up, we have a fireside chat with Funmi and Sam. Funmi, if you don't know her as an actress, you would have seen her as an athlete. You would have seen her as an educator. You have seen her in many spaces. She is a director of Future CEOs that creates educational initiatives and programs for those, especially for those in socioeconomic circumstances, exclude them from accessing business, educational, or professional development opportunities. She's also a director at Sunshine Cinema, which uses converts solar power into social impact. So they screen various movies and educational content around pretty much everywhere, using solar energy in those particular communities. Then she's also a director of Sisters Working in Film and Television, SWIFT. So for those of you in the film and television industry that need some guidance, especially females, Sisters Working in the Film and Television is an organization formed to address the crises of patriarchy and lack of equity and equality in the industry. So I am going to hand over to the most energetic person I've ever met in my life. We need to bottle that energy, and then I'm willing to pimp it out to the next consumer. I'm probably going to be the one that eats the stock the most. Next, Sam, I am going to hand over to you and Funmi to start us off with the fireside chat.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Marang. Funmi!
I'm fixing my hair in my video because I want to look as bubbly as Marang introduced me. Mamela Marang. People say that if I would bottle my energy, I'd be a billion, dillion, gazillionaire. Do you
I would be your pimp. I would be your pimp.
That's our next business, girl. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Great to have you around us.
Good morning, Sister.
Thank you very much for joining us at the 67 CEOs Global Entrepreneurship Week 2020. It is an honor indeed. And I must say, I also want to appreciate you for the part you played during the Global Entrepreneurship Week 2018. You were one of the adjudicators and speed mentors during the Global Entrepreneurship Week 2018. Thank you so much. It is a great honor to have you amidst us. How are you doing?
I take it a day at a time. I have learned so much through COVID and lockdown. I, as Marang said, realize the power of collaboration and teamwork and co-creation and being a creative, everybody, that comes naturally to me. But I didn't realize that the words and the truth that I was speaking before COVID and lockdown about collaborating and working with people and having people on your side who have different skill sets to you has made me not only survive, but thrive since March, because I realized the power in numbers. And Marang put it so beautifully, is that as entrepreneurs, as startups, say to, oh, my baby, oh, I don't want to share my ideas. Oh, let me keep my troubles to myself. That will get you nowhere. One of the businesses that I am ambassador for is called Lionesses of Africa. And that is strictly for us all women entrepreneurs out there. And I love one of the themes today, everybody. It's called inclusion. So big ups to the women entrepreneurs today. I see there are 58 participants. I hope they're more than half of us women entrepreneurs. Big ups to the Black women entrepreneurs for really being the lowest rung of the ecosystem of entrepreneurs, but still we hunt together. We protect what we love, and we try to reclaim the entrepreneurial landscape, especially through these tough times. So Marang really put a great tone to, I think, what I'm really going to emphasize today. Sam, what I liked about you is about the pitching. You know me. Guys, everybody, I'm always asking people for money. I'm always asking people to sponsor me. I'm always asking for investors to believe in me. So you can never get enough experience of being in a pitch room, pitching, watching Shark Tank, watching all the pitching shows, being in spaces where people are always trying to invest in you. And what I found with pitching, but Sam, which I'll touch on a bit later,
yes,
is that I find that a lot of entrepreneurs cannot articulate their businesses in less than 3 minutes. And guys, let me tell you this. You never know in which dynamic space you are going to meet your next business partner, your next investor, your next VC. So have your business, and those 2 videos were spot on, of your articulation of your business within 3 minutes flat. That's my intro.
Wow, what an energetic intro. And as a matter of fact, you kind of like pack what we intend to talk about for the next 1 hour in 3 minutes thereabout. Maybe we can as well go now. Guys, can we end the meeting?
I'm done. Gotcha.
I'm joking. No, thank you very much. That was a very great introduction. Now, let's take it back a little bit, Chloe. Share your experience as a young lady growing up, your career, where you came from. Yes, some know you as an award-winning actress. However, we would want to know more about the person, Chloe. So please share your background for us. And also,
good morning, everybody, once again.
Your career development.
Limpopo, hello. So let me start on this premise. Never think that you are starting something from scratch. And I'm not saying about how old you are or where you are in your career. When you're starting something new, you will always have the imposter syndrome. But never believe, and we can talk about the imposter syndrome later, but never believe you are starting something from scratch. Every single job that you do, as menial as you think it is packing, is stacking, is found giving you a foundation to do the work that you are doing now. So your success journey, your journey is never linear. So why I say that? Everything began for me as unandi pasitole. On isidingo HIV positive, unandipas matebane. On isidingo for those of you who remember. And I hope I was good. And I really hope I left that imprint on your heart, because as social entrepreneurs, that's our business. That's our business. And obviously making profit. So 10 years of being an isidingo, good things always come to an end. But I wasn't prepared for my life afterwards. I wasn't prepared that being a soapy star was going to be the be-all and the end-all of Subimboya. When that point of my career changed and pivoted, I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. I was stuck between, I don't know if I've got any experience besides being an actress and being a creative and being an artist to do anything else with that. And I felt like at the end of 10 years, I was thrown out of a moving car. But as I say, being an entrepreneur is all about that. I always say to people, Sam and Marang and all of you that are listening, being an entrepreneur, we're not born entrepreneurs, we're panel beaten into entrepreneurship. We learn every single day. And I don't know if we like it learning the hard way, but I think that's where most growth happens. So as an entrepreneur, it is so vital for us to always carry those scars, but to make it work at the best ability. And I find now during COVID, the entrepreneurs who are not even thriving and beyond surviving are the ones who just kept things simple from day one. And the ones who were talking their truth before COVID. So authenticity, and I'll come back to that, is everything for me as a business person, as a leader, and as an entrepreneur. So going back to after leaving Isidingo, what I found out and what is so important about being an entrepreneur is that because I was a public persona, Sam, I had one hell of a network. I had one hell of a fan base. And I thought to myself, let me use that. Let me use all the people who not even validated my work, who would open doors for me when I no longer was in their television spaces, but open doors for me beyond television. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the beginning of future CEOs. As Marang so beautifully put it, I found that there was young people were falling through the gaps. And those were the young people who had done their matric, who had done their first degree, undergraduate degree, but still unemployed. And we're finding this obviously escalated now because of COVID. And I found that that is exactly what I wanted to hone into. And this was, ladies and gentlemen who are listening, 7 years ago. So I started the business with that mindset, that I wanted to create a connectivity, an access point between not only CEOs, Sam, but thought leaders, innovators, creatives, and people who are really doing new, refreshing, incredible ideas, from JSE listed to township people who could connect with people who wanted to do something that was not the ordained path of leaving school, having your degree, and finding yourself in a job. That was not my path, and I've got to reflect that that is not only the path of success. That not all of us are UCT or WITS or Limpopo varsity graduates, and none of us will always be, and success is not dressed as that. Hence the difference between education and intelligence, which I'm always so passionate about. So Future CEOs began on that. And I started, thank goodness, on a digital platform. So this new digital boom because of COVID is not new to me. Over 6 to 7 years, everybody that's listening, I interviewed and I had the blessing of all those important people who've got better things to do with their time than come to Rivonia and be interviewed by Uhlubi. But what comes back to my point is that never underestimate the work journey, the labor that you've done, whether it's washing cars, whether it's being at an NGO where you're filing papers, whether you're wiping babies' bums, all those things add up. I was a waitress. I washed cars. I sold amagwinya. That means I'm a very relational person. I know how I'm a people's person, but Sam, you know that. And I love working with people. And all those jobs in my teens, in my varsity careers, had made me into a very specific leadership style, which I practice today. And that's very relational. And that's why I'm so good at what I do. Back to Marang's point, if I can't do something, I find and I ask people, Jonga, this is what I'm trying to do. Let's do it together because you've got a skill set that I don't have. So Future CEO really did open up all the other businesses that Marang spoke about, because that was my network is my net worth aspect for a business to me. And that's why network marketing, these kind of platforms are so important, because you never know, the person you are sitting next to might be a lifelong journey and a lifelong business, spiritual guide for a successful legacy-leaving entrepreneur.
Wow. Thank you very much, Funmi. You mentioned something that is very, very critical, and I'm going to use the word of Steve Jobs. He said, you don't connect the dots looking forward. You connect the dots looking backward. And what that means, to allude to what you said, is things add up. You know,
absolutely.
The network you made during your time at Isidingo, the network you made as you started Future CEOs, everything add up to where you are today. And the second point you made is the power of collaboration. It is said that collaboration is a new innovation. And yes.
But Sam, let me tell you something that I always say to myself, It's okay to not know everything. Humility in our industry as entrepreneurs, it's about having vision for the long game. And as entrepreneurs, we all have different strategies. Some people have an exit strategy. Some people want to do this for the long haul. All our within every ecosystem is a different mindset. What I've always tapped myself in the back for is humility. My humility and saying, I screwed up, I did wrong, I failed. Can I ask for help? Please and thank you. That has taken me very far in this industry. Very, very far. And that humility and saying, you know more than I do was the Future CEO platform. You know what I mean? And because of, you know what? People attract what they are. I believe that. And if you have an attitude of gratitude and a good work ethic and are willing to learn, you will attract those kind of ecosystems to you. And if you are a co-creator, you will attract that to you. And in Lionesses of Africa, which is the women entrepreneurs, it's the African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Go together. So
from Future CEOs, it catapulted me into my other businesses, which are 4 other businesses. And I always say, thank you, God, for allowing me the humility to say, let me start from being an actress to start something new that I never knew anything about. And here I am.
Thank you very much. With every respect to actors and actresses for the statement that I want to make. Funmi, you have remained relevant. And some of the things that, especially in the creative space in general, your musicians, your actors, people that are in creative, it looks like the career has a short lifespan. Do you agree with me before I ask you my question?
I agree with you.
Now, because the creative industry or space or career has a short lifespan, when people either exit or whatever happens, they find it difficult to move to the next level. And this is another point. Creativity is fluid by its nature because sometimes it's not, tangible. You can't touch it. And because of that, a lot of creatives lack the skills required to be able to convert their creativity to either business or money.
They say the World Economic Forum, especially at the World Economic Forum in Davos, which they held every year, they say that creativity is the one thing that's going to set people apart moving beyond 2020. And I completely believe that. And obviously critical thinking and obviously collaborations. We all know that here at 67 CEO. That's why we're all here. But let me tell you something. Creativity doesn't mean painting or drawing or acting or playing the guitar. Creativity is fluid, as you said. It's how you come up and unleash ideas. It's how you strategize. It's how you develop solutions. It's how you solve problems. That's why we're entrepreneurs. I always say to young people, you are a creative just because you're an entrepreneur. Do you understand that? That you are trying to solve problems that no one else can because their mindset is so blocked. And I believe most creatives are blocked into being musos and not business gurus.
Yes.
Tycoons. You know what I mean? Because they think, or they just want to sing. And I think that's where my power and my influence and my relevance lies.
Absolutely.
Is that I speak a lot of languages, and that in itself is creative. And everything, but Sam, people always ask me, everybody, Funmi, you're doing so many things. Number one rule for me, it's okay to live a life that nobody understands, but Sam, that's what I've learned from lockdown. It's okay to live a life that nobody understands, as long as it makes understanding to me. And as long as I'm willing to learn new things every single day. And wisdom.
Sorry. And I just want to say something to that. And as long as it does not violate another person's rights or values, please carry on.
Absolutely. It's okay to live a life that people don't understand. So everyone's also, and I call myself a serial social entrepreneur because I'm doing things that speak to each other. And the underpinning, if I had to say, Funmi, what is your brand? Which we're going to touch up to. My brand is empowerment, it's opportunity, it's access, and it's wealth creation. And everything that I do speaks to that, and that speaks to one another. So anything that says Hlubimboy Arnold does this, it's either empowerment, opportunity, wealth creation, or access.
Wow. And talk about access and wealth. You are part of the, first of all, you are managing director of Mboya and Associates.
Beautiful.
That's one. You are also part of the Morebo company.
Yes.
Please take us through some of the things that these two businesses do and how they speak to your core value.
As a social entrepreneur, let's go back. An entrepreneur, as you said, Butsam, is somebody that tries to fix problems.
Yes.
It's about the customer. What are they scratching? What's the problem here? So that's what we do as entrepreneurs. Number two, as a social entrepreneur, I'm very community-based. It's not about me, it's about my next door neighbor. And it's about the person I work with. And it's about Mpumalanga. And it's about Limpopo. And then it's about South Africa. And then it's about Southern Africa. And then it's about Africa. So Umorebo, for me, let me tell you this, guys. Hey, 10 years of Isidinga, you all would have thought I would have spent money. I was young, guys. I blew 10 years of cash. So when it finished, it ended, I blew that money. And that made me realize, for me, what makes me in the long term, Butsam, is because I experienced the itch. It's not somebody saying, hey, Khubi, how do I do about finance? I know what it means to be broke. I know what it means to not know where your next paycheck is coming from. So can you imagine, as a creative, that was happened 20 years ago. So what the creators were crying about during COVID, lockdown level 5 for 3 months, while we weren't working, while we were starving, people and everybody knew that we didn't save enough as a continent. We didn't. 3 months is not enough. The basic bare minimum, forget debt, forget wills, forget investments. We didn't save enough. So I learned by spending all my money and not saving, not even 200 Rand a month for 10 years, that I cannot put myself in that position again. So Umorebo was a perfect calling for me to be able to have financial literacy to the ordinary South Africans and not being something abstract. And the basics, I'm not talking about wealth management. I'm not talking about employee benefits. I'm not talking about estate planning. I'm talking about the simplest, safe, compound interest, debt alleviation. And what it means as an entrepreneur when it comes to our personal savings and our personal budgets versus the business. And how as entrepreneurs, it's this. We're spending our business money, it's the same card. We've all done that. So that speaks to me. But more importantly, as I said about access, Puti, and I said about empowerment, every time we deal with advisors, when it comes to our finances, it's white, male, old people. Every time you go to any financial advisor, and I was like, I've got a problem with that. They cannot speak our language. They don't know the money issues of a Black person. Forget a Black person, a professional. They don't know what Black tax is. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's so important, especially when Black people talk about their money and we want advisory from that. It has to be reflective. They have to speak our language. So I'm very passionate about the development of and the mentorship and the skills training of Black women financial advisors in this country. So that's Morebo, everyone, which is financial solutions, wealth creations, because we want intergenerational wealth. And why I say yes, we talk about investments as well all the time, definitely, Bahlopile. I'll leave you with all the my contact details of all the businesses at the end, everybody. It's intergenerational wealth transfer. And our philosophy for Morebo is live to leave a legacy. And that goes for Wena, leaving a legacy for your children, for the ones you love the most. And Tina, the people who are running Morebo, that we leave to leave a legacy, that we leave intergenerational wealth transfer, financial freedom, a wealth mindset as Black people. So that's Morebo. Now, Mboya and Associates, because I played an HIV positive character, I will always be an HIV positive or an HIV advocate. And that's very much, as Unandipa displayed to everybody, was basically trying to inspire people about living positively with HIV, but also eradicate stigma and access to healthcare. My brother, access to primary healthcare. So my dad and I, and it's really very much on a startup place, it's about access to healthcare to the people who need it the most, the people in rural parts of Africa. And that is also inclusive for me when I think forward of the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. We must not make the same mistakes as we did with ARVs, where it was for a privileged few. Only the affordable could afford the ARVs. We cannot make the same mistake with the COVID vaccine. So it's about access to primary healthcare, and that's where the mobile clinics come in. I want to go to the deepest, darkest corners of Africa and be able to educate people about primary healthcare, educate them, and also be able to sustain themselves. So that for me is a work in the process, a family business, because my father is very much, he's Prof. He says, Subi, I also want you to be Prof. Mboya. Ish, the pressure, the parents, guys. You must also be Prof. Mboya. I'm like, so that's basically also the rule of thumb of access, Bootsam, of empowerment, of education and being inclusive, and also upliftment.
You touched on Africa. What's your love and view of Africa at large and the people of Africa?
Wow, what can I say about that? I think all the work I do has given me the privilege, also being an actress, has given me the privilege to see my continent, to love our culture, to see the potential of investment from Africans by Africans. I'm very Pan-African, my brother. Like, me, Black Panther, I was like, I need to act in that. I need to be Lupita,
The sequel.
But, and that's why I believe that our decolonization of the education system is so important. A lot of the things that we went and what we do now and what we learned, whether tertiary or high school, does not include the African narrative. Forget the Black African woman narrative. And that's so important to me. And I'll always be a pusher, and I'll always be an advocate of African content by Africans for Africans. It's very important to me. And what I always say, and this is my brand online and personal brand online, this tribalism will kill us. Xenophobia will destroy us. And that's exactly what the West wants. It's exactly what capitalistic governance wants. So they can sit at the bank, not hands crossed, laughing all the way to the bank because we brought demise on ourselves. So I'm always pushing the African agenda, especially in my businesses. And I love the fact that the World Trade Organization, the big fight is between our Asian and African counterparts. And isn't it so vital? Well, and isn't it so vital, especially as entrepreneurs, we want African trade. We want to be able to do a business with our Kenyan brothers and sisters, with our Mozambican, with our Zimbabwean, with our Senegalese, with our Ethiopian, with our Egyptian brothers and sisters. Come on now. So that, for me, being a business tycoon and being a business mogul means I'm going to work and do business with fellow Africans.
And what you said makes the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement very relevant. And we're going to see how it's going to unfold and make impact in the development of the brand Africa and the people of Africa, and obviously the economy of Africa. Talk about brand. I've seen your partnership with the GEW online. So take us through your brand, your online brand as Funmi. I can see it, improving and gaining traction.
So let me tell you something about myself, everybody. It's not always about the money. And don't get me wrong, I love money. Who doesn't love money? I love money. But at what cost? At what cost? Let me leave it at that. That's a question I ask for you. So I say that very openly because we all have different priorities. Some people have got 5 people to feed. Some people have got cars. Some people are paying bonds. So whatever you accept with a monetary exchange, it's an individual and it's a personal decision. I understand that.
That's
but for me,
true.
You know what I mean, Butsem? But for me, everybody that's listening, authenticity is everything. Authenticity is everything. And I find when I ring true to that, and I always have, the money comes and it repeatedly comes. So when you say to Jeep, when I do work with Jeep, and guys, this is also the Jeep, the vehicle and the apparel. And Jeep for me is very outdoorsy. It's very nature. It's very experience. It's very a grit, which is a test of character, a passion, a fire spirit. That's why I'm firesiding chats, Those things are a reflection of who I am. And if I can speak that truth, my truth, in any way, form, and truth possible through so many things, then my work, I feel that I've reflected my truth, in business, and in and spaces where, and people are always watching, guys. People are always watching. Don't think that you didn't go viral, that people don't care. You might have that 2 likes, but let me tell you something. People are watching, and your influence means that they might not have liked back. They're acting on exactly what you tweeted about or what you Instagrammed about and what you LinkedIn about. So for me, don't be fooled by the numbers. Don't be fooled by popularity. It's about the purpose. So for me, my brand alignment, and it's about alignment. That's the perfect word, Butsam.
Yeah.
It's got to speak to my truth. I don't want to be able to do things that don't ring true to our hand, because you will get caught out. You know what I mean? And that means I enjoy the content that I'm producing. And people can see when you're enjoying your content. People can see that, this is Hlubi. Look at that energy. They can see, they can feel it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what makes virtual so important, is because we're not there face to face anymore. They've got to be able to feel your passion.
Absolutely.
Via the context of your virtual. And that is so important. So that is... remain relevant. It's not about how many tweeting just because you're tweet. Tweet the content that's of value, guys.
And that emphasizes the need for entrepreneurs to be able to maintain their personal brand and their business brand online.
Yeah.
Now, very shortly, guys, we're going to give you an opportunity to ask questions, to ask Hlubi questions, either based on some of the things that she's shared, or maybe when you were growing up, you saw her on TV and, there were things that you would want to get to know from her, or questions around business, questions relating to business. But before we do that, you've been on camera or in front of camera, Hlubi, like you said, probably over 10 years or more than 10 years, as it were. SMMEs in Limpopo and Mpumalanga, they are going to be pitching their business in front of their camera, phone camera specifically. What are some of the things that they need to put into considerations as they pitch their business model for 67?
Look, y'all, I come prepared. I did my notes, highlights. I'm serious about my job. I'm quality, guys.
Maybe Professor Umboya was right.
Guys, I've highlighted things for y'all. Different highlights and the creativity, different colors. So let's take it back a notch, Butsam, if time allows. Are we okay? Number 1, let's go back to the old school days of pitching when you had a panel, or the sharks, as I used to call you guys there at 67 at the Global Entrepreneurship Week. This morning, and I find that this carries on into when we're doing it in front of our own screens or own cameras or virtually. So you touched, and your video touched on a lot of important points. So let me go through it. I'm going to quickly buzz through them. They're 10 points. And then I'm going to take you through what to carry through when you're doing it on camera, guys. Let's start by when you're pitching, 10 beautiful points. Credibility, agreeability, I'll talk about that. Interactiveness, captivation, relevance, entertainment, confidence, powerful and inspirational. So let's deal with mythbusters. They say that we say in everyday life, opposites attract. What I really find a powerful tool when you're pitching is to be able to connect with your panel or your shark or your judges or your investors. You know who is going to be on your panel. You know the business that your panel is going to invest in you. Do your research. Find out what makes them tick and punch it, drop it. Blow them away by saying something because you've done your research. And what sharks love, what judges love is when they say, hey, I see myself in that picture, that entrepreneur. I see so much myself. Let me tell you something that is a powerful tool. So connect, do your research about the business. Beautiful. Number 2, credibility. And this is what you spoke about in one of your videos, but Sam, we can be as energetic and as charismatic as Klubimboy and Arnold. But if you don't know your numbers, you are screwed. So listen up. I am a creative. Finance has never been my strong point. But wherever I'm pitching, I bring the numbers girl. I bring the numbers guy into the room with me. Do you understand that? Because you will be blown out of the pitch competition if you don't know your numbers. So don't even start with a pitch if you don't know your numbers, all right? So that is number 2. That is credibility. Page 3. Okay, let's go to agreeableness, which means for me, be friendly, be warm, either when you're in the room or you're doing it on camera, guys. People want to invest in people who are friendly. These judges or these sharks or this panel or Exaro, they're not your enemies. So don't treat them like they are the bad guy. They're not. Go in there, show warmth. When you record yourself, your body language is everything. Your eyes are everything. Your smile is everything. We're all nervous. I know we're nervous. But make the butterflies in your tummy fly in one direction instead of... Okay, so warmth is so important. We want to be relatable. Next point, be interactive. So in the old world, I call the old world before we did all the virtual stuff, but I say the old world. So
because we are in the new normal. We are in the new normal.
So when I say the old world, ladies and gents, my fellow entrepreneurs, my heartbeat, interactive means if you've got your products in the old world, you bring your product, you bring your lip ice, you bring your wine, you bring your bangles, you bring your hats, and you let the judges experience your product because it must be multisensory for them to really know your product or your service. So it's a bit tougher now in doing it virtually. But in the banners, you saw Marang, she's got business processes. Show your products while you're shooting your video. I've got Marilyn Monroe. I'm old school Hollywood glam, y'all. But show your product. Put your wine there. Put your spa products. I saw one of the entrepreneurs is a spa. Put your lotions. If you are yoga, show a namaste pose. Interact, show your product visually as much as you can. Wear your bow tie, wear your hats so they can see and they can feel and they can experience you as an entrepreneur. Next up, captivation. And this goes in the old world or the new normal when it comes to pitching, guys. Storytelling is everything. And I'm not saying that because I'm an actress, and I'm not saying that because creativity becomes normal to me, but stories, especially when we're an entrepreneur, are everything. People are not buying what you're selling them. They're buying your story of how it started, why you're doing it, how difficult it was, the pain, the tears, the heartbreak. They want to go through that journey with you. And it's so important to bond with people when you're an entrepreneur about your story. But also remember, this is a pitch context. So you can't be A to Z. You've got to be A to Z within a certain amount of time. Tell your story about your product or your service. It's very important. But most importantly, can you see I'm turning the page? Most importantly, always tell your money story. You're pitching because you want to be invested in, yo. You're pitching because you need their cash. You're pitching because you need their support structures of infrastructure, of mentorship. Whatever they're trying to give you, you're trying to get. All right? So tell your entrepreneurship story about the lack of money, the need for money, or what you're going to do when you get their money. Okay, that is so important. Relevance. And I love the fact that Butsam and I touched on that. Make your pitch relevant. Like, why do we need this now? Why do we need this today? What is it going to do for us? We're not talking about something that's going to happen in 2021 or how's it going to help us like tomorrow. And the future doesn't mean in 2021. We mean, let's just try and get through December with your product. Okay, so let's make it relevant. And yeah, that's my pitch sessions. All right. Wow. So basically, that should carry you through from when we go back into rooms and we're pitching in front of live humans, or we're doing it in front of camera. And as Butsam said in the beginning, head and shoulders is nice, not too close to the mic. I don't want to see your nose hairs. Your lighting must be good. Marang has got beautiful lighting. I saw that Butsam has got the Exaro banner behind him. It's so slick, guys. It means you're a professional. It's Thank so you. Slick. I've got my movies. I'm a movie star. Hey, so I've got my movies behind me. You know what I love about virtual is that the fact that sometimes we can't control the elements. Some people have got network problems, ESCOM, load shedding, it might happen. So always be mindful of those experiences. All right. So have your phone ready. If you've got to move from your PC to your phone, try and keep the dogs and the cats and the husbands and the kids, for their 10 minutes of pitching at bay, and just try to get, your business idea across as articulately as you possibly can.
In as much as the pitching is reserved for entrepreneurs in Limpopo and Mpumalanga in this year, 2020 Global Entrepreneurship Week, entrepreneurs, their fellow entrepreneurs, what Funmi just shared with us applies to every single small business owners, because it's not every time that you pitch or you sell to investors, you are equally always pitching to your customers or pitching or selling to your customers. And the truth of the matter is your customers are your best investors. Because if you look Absolutely. At it, Global Entrepreneurship Week happens once every year. And obviously, your business is not going to wait once every year to be invested in or to be funded, as it were. So what Funmi shared with us applies to every single entrepreneur, irregardless of where you are based or which industry you are. Thank you so much. We are very grateful for all the points you've shared. Thank you for sharing your entrepreneurship journey with us. Thank you for your authenticity. Thank you so much. We've learned a lot from you. Marang, I'm going to hand over to you to take Q&A.
Can I close? You know me.
No, Marang is going to give the entrepreneurs opportunity to ask you questions.
Oh, beautiful. I'm not finished.
Then after the Q&As, then you can give your parting shot. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Funmi, I don't think we would ever deny you an opportunity to finish. Even if I don't think it's possible for you to finish, Nje.
Marang, I'm not finished.
I still have an agenda. I'm not going. Fantastic. I did warn you guys. Funmi has lots of energy, but also a very insightful person, never short of giving you advice and to just say, let me see what you're doing. Here's a tip for you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's go, right? So if you have questions, please, I already see some hands are being raised here. So let's be prompt. Let's be very specific with our questions. And then we can get a lot of questions coming through and get a lot of advice coming through as well. So Smooth Life Africa. Guy, I don't even know your name. You're calling yourself Smooth Life Africa. Can I at least know your name, Guy Wanije?
Hi, Marang. Katu here from Smooth Life.
Katu, yes. Ke tlo bitsa Smooth Life hanga kopana le wena ko strateng.
Better yet, call me Smooth K.
Smooth K. Smooth K.
Thank you. Hi, Shubi. Thank you for your energetic presentation. I just feel that in South Africa, we all need to take responsibility for like job creation. And I'd love to see the creative industry like more like on TV. Can't the soapies use our product? Like in the morning, if you guys are having a breakfast, can't you have our product there, like in your kitchens, just to get our names out there? I mean, we can't afford to pay for the advertisement. Can't the creative industry maybe just say, you know what, we also need to do to help small businesses. We're going to have our products in display in our kitchens. I feel like, I'd love to see my bottle. Unfortunately, I drank my juice. Let's talk. I mean, can't you guys just have my bottle there? Drink it, get my name out there. I mean, it's our responsibility. You help me. I also gonna, create jobs in return. Thank you.
Smooth K, sorry, Slubi, just before you answer that, can I just rephrase your question, right? Because I think this question has come up quite a lot in terms of how do you get products and the TV industry and film and television industry involved? I think if we understood how to engage with that particular industry, because this question comes up from fashion designers, and Smooth K is making a very relevant point. You know, if we are seeing all of these locally made products in our TV screens and stuff like that, then we will actually start changing the narrative about African-made products. So how do people get in? If you're not an actor, or you're not necessarily, you know, the direct value chain of a film crew, of a film or a television production, how do you get your product into that space?
Yes. Just to add up, just one last thing. Sorry. Like what I offered Vusi yesterday, Shubi, you are welcome to products. I've got 3 products, carrots and beetroot. You shout, I deliver.
Beautiful. And you know, I'm a bit of a fitness freak. So already, yummy.
Target market. Thank you.
Yummy. Just, you know, I'm not a studio head. I don't run Mnet and SABC, blah, blah, Prime Media, booty. But let me tell you something. Big corporates have got no fear. Or they don't care about, oh my God, what is ECD going to think if we come to them and say, listen, put the Omo there for my Agnes to use and stuff like that. So why, Tina, as startups and as SMEs, Sisaba or SABC, you know what I mean? I think that I believe in what we're trying to do as startups and SMEs. And that's why I'm so proud, as hard as it is to be an entrepreneur, because it's exactly that. And no government is going to do that for us, is going to create it, especially post-COVID, Puti. No government is going to be on some, listen, the lack of employment, it's on us. No, we're going to have to do it. So the best thing for me, I'm not afraid of rejection. And as an actor, I go to auditions, I get rejected all the time. And as entrepreneurs, we must know that that is part of, we ask for that becoming an entrepreneur. Rejection is part of the journey. It's part of the business. It's who we are. But it's about being resilient to that. So if you want Umuvango or Isibaya to be showcasing your juice, because I've got personal trainers who they say to Generations, because they saw that Generations as a gym. And they're like, listen, let me come and be on film sets, and let me be a personal trainer, actor, and that happened to them. So it's basically you just taking the opportunity. And if it's a no, it's a no. We're used to no's as entrepreneurs. And write specifically to that soapy that you want and saying, this is the deal, you know? But obviously you've got to be cognizant that it's got to make business sense to them. Like your juice is obviously a health product. So in the storyline must be a health storyline. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to also be realistic about your target SOPI or your target program, that you want to represent your product.
So what I'm hearing is shoot your shot. Like really don't tiptoe around this thing because and Smooth K, you have been brilliant, my guy. I'm seeing even in the comments in the chat box, people are commending you. You have taken up every opportunity to speak about your product, one. And two, you have not hesitated to say to the next person, can I make sure that you get your product, my product in your hands? So good job to you. I don't think rejection is a problem in your life. With a name like Smooth K, I'm sure like Obakrima before you even started.
Sorry, Marang. I just wanted to make a point and allude to what Shubi said or advised. And thank you very much for taking that direction, Shubi. And Katu, Mr. Smooth Guy, or Smooth K. Smooth K. Now, listen, I'm taking you to task, Katu. What should be advised? I recommend you put it to work. Either next week or whenever you can, start reaching out to the production houses or whoever. My point is, in the next 4 weeks, I want to hear your report. I mean, you have my email. We've been engaging a lot. So I want to hear, I would love a feedback from you, Katu, in the next 4 weeks to 6 or 8 weeks, thereabout, on the outcome of your outreach to the production houses. Thank you very much.
Awesome. What happened to Lorian? She disappeared. Maybe she'll put her hand up again. Amanda, you've got your hand raised. What's your question?
To you is basically, as a woman of many talents and interests, how do you sort of like broaden down and like focus? Like, how do you know what to fund and which time? Because like if you have many talents and interests, you're more prone to think about many innovative ideas and stuff. So how do you sort of like broaden it down and sort of like, tone things down and try and focus on like specific things? Because I'm kind of having problems with that.
The work-life balance that is in imbalance.
It's just loving too many things and having too many interests and just not knowing what to focus on.
That's a beautiful question. Can I take that, Marang?
Yeah, sure.
As I said, Amanda, as I said, you know what? All the things that I do, and people have said, Hlubi, you've got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies, and I agree with that. Number one, as I said to Good Sam earlier, everything that I do connects to each other. So if I'm at Sunshine Cinema, which is a solo mobile cinema, we have to think about money. We have to think about people. We have to think about access. We have to think about education. When I'm talking about Moreba, it all flows on within each other. Nothing is separate. I don't do things separately, number one. Number two, I'm a serious articulate planner. Everybody's got 24 hours. And no, there are things that I do. I'm still studying. I've got a husband. I want to have babies. We all have 24 hours. So something is going to give. And mothers, for those of you who've got kids, have told me, Hlubi, something is going to have kids when the babas are here. And I understand that. But it's about management, not only of your time, but of your energy. And that's what I've learned with COVID. And one of the things that I want to leave you with, which is one of my closing statements, Marang and Sam, is that management of your energy is everything to me. And that's why I believe that if you want to change our narrative, y'all, if you want to rebuild Africa, we cannot do it exhausted. We cannot do it now. We cannot do it half tuned in. So by managing your energy, you're managing and articulating your daily planning and your daily time, which is so important. And the things that you need to focus on have to be in alignment. Mina, the grind culture, I was a big fan of that up until COVID hit. COVID taught me to slow down and focus on the things that need my attention and that I'm aligned to. And this race that we're all trying to get at as entrepreneurs, we're not going to make it. And Nina, I want you to make it. I need you to make it. Because the only way we're going to go into 2021 is not by me, by myself, Marang by herself, and Sam by herself. We're going to do it together. And I need you to be there present, fully present, but at the cost of your love for what you do and being in alignment, not the cost of your family, not the cost of your children, not the cost of you losing friends, not the cost of you being exhausted and burnt out. And bafunim, now people like that on my team. Manage your energy, manage your time.
Okay, and in the interest of managing the event time, I'm going to take 2 last questions. Klubi, if you can humor me for that. We are just slightly over the 11 o'clock scheduled time to end. So if you can humor me with just 2 more questions and then we can close off. Is that fine?
Beautiful.
Awesome. Sandra, your question. You're back, Sandra! I hope you got the time to prep your pitch.
I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
I hope you are all good. Sure. Thank you for the powerful talk, Sis Klubi. The tips that you gave us for the pitch, the tips that you gave us for when you just have a busy life that you can determine your own life. I love it. I love it. And I just have a question with regards to social entrepreneurship, which is something that you mentioned is something that you focus on. And it's the space that I'm in. And when it comes to like pitching and actually pursuing the social entrepreneurship side of things, when you share with investors and want to package the value that you are going to add, How can one go about it to show that there is actually a benefit, a financial benefit, because obviously investors want a return. But with social entrepreneurship, we also address the social ills in the community, yet sometimes they're not necessarily like non-profit organizations, and it is entrepreneurship. There is profit that will be created, there is value that will be added. But now how can I go about then packaging that to show an investor that there is value, and as much as this is social business, but it is entrepreneurship and we are all about the business as well. I hope I'm being clear.
I get you, my love. And listen, you are spot on. So listen, I'm not saying, I don't give tips about pitching if I don't actively pitch. I've got a pitch on the 1st of December. And you know what? So you've got a briefing about, you know, where you're going to go if you've got that privilege when you go to a pitch session, and you do at 67, because Sam is doing that right here, right now for you. So the pitcher said to me, and listen to this, my fellow social entrepreneur, scale of impact, son. Impact, that is your value proposition. So with social entrepreneurs, obviously we're there of value. Obviously we're there to make a difference, but your scale of impact. So think about your business model and how you are going to hone in on the scale of impact. And also, you have to be innovative as social entrepreneurs. It's so easy to fall into the trap of, we're social entrepreneurs, we're making a difference, we're doing good, we're adding value. But innovation, whatever you're trying to do, Sissy, try to do something so different that nobody has actually done that yet. You know, that you are a leader in whatever social entrepreneurship business that you have, that you thought about things something differently. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, Sissy? And it's and no shame in saying in a pitch, listen, this is where I'm at. I do not have all the answers yet, but I know the scale of impact that I want to have. And this is what I'm thinking of doing. Being ingenious is what sharks or judges love. But obviously your business model has got to be able to support and validate that. So before I go into the pitch on the 1st, I just had to have a little bit of wiggle room in the business model. But okay, it's solar mobile. So obviously we're unique in that sense. But our impact, how we're going to generate impact, how we're going to leave something behind after your business has left, or after your sustainability, Nana. What are you going to leave for the people once your business is out of that environment? Do you understand that?
Makes sense.
And that is thinking just, you know what I mean? Sometimes I think we overthink it and overshoot the shot, but you just have to backtrack it back. And I think about being a leader means that you're very reflective about the work that you do. You have to be reflective about the work that you do. That's the only way that you can take constructive criticism, Siswam, who did a beautiful pitch, and move and progress and grow in your business.
Sure. Yeah, no, it makes sense. It's the best answer I've got for that question because I've been asking it, but it makes sense. Thank you so much.
Sissy, I'm only telling you of my preparation because I'm preparing to preach on the 1st of December. And those are the things I'm telling to myself and my team. Mm-hmm. So I'm walking the talk, Mama.
Marang,
thank you so much.
Marang, if you allow me for a few seconds just to add to what Truby said. Scale of impact can never be overemphasized when it comes to social entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And as she articulately said that, I am a testimony to that statement. And I have my version of that same statement, that money follows impact. If you, in social entrepreneurship, if you can articulate and demonstrate your impact or your scale of impact, people are going to support you financially. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Sandra?
Yes, ma'am.
To simplify how you are going to even tell people your scale of impact, if you can show people, you know when they say follow the money. So if you can show an investor that if you spend 10 Rand on me, this is how far your 10 Rand is going to grow. So what people make the mistake of saying in a pitch is just saying, give me 10 Rand so that I can feed 100 people. But you're not saying, give me 10 Rand so I can feed 100 people so that they don't have to worry about hunger and can instead spend their time and energy focusing on their education, right? In order for them to grow their livelihoods or improve their standards of living. So you have to go right to the end of that 10 Rand. How far is this 10 Rand going to stretch? Don't make the mistake of just saying, give me 10 Rand so I can feed 100. I can feed 100, but the 100 is going to then be able to do something else. And this is going to influence the next thing. And this is the next thing until the full stop. So do not stop at just give me 10 Rand to feed 100 people. Please, I beg you.
Noted.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Right. Last person. Refilwe. Let's go with you as the last person.
Yes.
The rest of you are going to have to find Shlubi on social media to ask her more questions. She is not shy to respond to people when she gets to you. So don't expect immediate response, but she will get to you and respond to you. She's very kind and helpful in that manner, accessible in that manner. Refilwe?
And also give me feedback about the session, everybody. Tell me how it was.
Of course.
And also, ask Shubi, it will be nice to be followed by you. Hey, my question basically is, how does one tap into the African market? So I'm doing branding, so I want to help startups in South Africa, but most importantly, I want to go to like Kenya and Nigeria and get the startups there. How does one get into that industry? I've tried social media and going to network sessions, but it still doesn't like give you like, how do I get hold of the startups in African countries?
Beautiful. So I've got ambassador and I'm a fellow Lioness of Africa. They're called Lionesses of Africa. And it's a 1 million plus, listen to this girl, it's a 1 million plus network of African women entrepreneurs across the continent. Now, what I do as the ambassador, I hold networking sessions all across Southern Africa, but obviously the network, and it's about trade that I was talking about. It's about networking. It's about life skills, business skills, funding, access, mentorship, digital information and resources delivered at scale for free. My favorite words of all time. For free, y'all. So, Nana, it's Lionesses of Africa. Go to their website, lionessesofafrica.com, on social media, and you must join and be part of the community. I promise you, you'll come back to me and said, I found what I was looking for. And she's sitting there in Senegal, and we've connected. So it's Lionesses of Africa on Facebook and on Twitter, and you go to the website. Register, become a community member. You will not regret it. So we've also got a platform for the other women entrepreneurs who are listening right now called Lioness Business Unusual. And it's exactly to navigate these tough times of COVID on this platform called Lioness Business Unusual. So go to Lionesses of Africa. You will not regret that.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Look, quite a few of us that are on this, that are participating in this session, that are part of Lionesses of Africa. I've seen Masana is here.
Yes.
Tau, who spoke earlier from Catwalk Lodge. I don't know if Chef Naledi is still part of the audience, but we are part of this thing, and we keep really. It is a supportive network. You call a friend when days are dark. You're calling a friend because you need assistance with putting together a business proposal or something in your business. You are really going to leverage on that network. Again, it is about taking your shot and going out there and putting yourself out there, not fearing that rejection. All right. Hlubi, from the bottom of my heart in particular, thank you for energizing me. Like, you have zapped me with the go-to for the day. Like, I always think I'm energetic in the mornings, but then if I ever bump into you, I'm just like, oh Lord, she outshines me again. But I really do appreciate your time and the insights that you have shared with us. Reading from the comments here, people are excited. They're so energized. I'm getting goose flesh up and down my skin because of the excitement that I'm feeling myself. I'm going to hand over to, in fact, you had some parting shots that you wanted to say, but I'm going to hand over to you and Sam just to close us off.
I love you, Marang.
And then before we just end this off, I love you too.
I love you, Marang, and I can't wait for us to play money monopoly here again.
Yes, we must do that. I'll put a session
together. Love you, honey. Love your work.
Love you too. Thank you.
Your parting shot, Sis Hlubi.
I had a wonderful time. Thank you so much for a wonderful opportunity. I'm always, guys, for all of you who don't know, I'm always hunting Sam down. I'm like, when is 67 CEOs? Like, damn, WhatsApp, and I'm liking all the stuff. I'm like, when you're going to call me? When you're going to pop me an email? I follow him like a puppy. So thank you once again, 67 CEOs. I believe in what you're trying to do. And thank you so much, Sam, for being, walking in your honor, in what you do, and, just always being so calm and cool, because sometimes they're papa, just being calm and cool and being that solid rock that we can all come to. But honestly, and from the bottom of my heart, I want to say this, and I'm going to repeat this. We all want what we want, especially as entrepreneurs. We've got our big dreams, we've got our small dreams. We come with our families. We're complex human beings. But please, for yourselves, do this for me. And I realized this in the past 6 months. We are of no good to ourselves and what we're trying to do if we are burnt out, if we are exhausted, if we are mentally not healthy, if we are spiritually not okay, if we are not present, if we are not tuned in, and if we are not aligned. Never in my life. I'm a hard worker. We all are hard workers here. I've got a very strong work ethic. But COVID, and I believe this is the purpose, the lessons learned in all this chaos, there's lessons learned. And it's taught us just to slow down just a notch and really align ourselves. And not just go for it because of the grind and the hustle, the Johannesburg or the Gauteng, or, just take it down a notch and start reflecting more and start aligning yourself instead of just hustling and grinding it. To work to death, to work until you drop dead, that's not normal. It is not normal. I believe that we can still achieve our dreams by just taking a breather every now and again and starting with our spiritual and our health, our families, and our mental space. I promise you, let me tell you this. I'm in this for the long haul, and I repeat myself with authority. I don't want to create a new Africa exhausted and not fully present and not tuned in and numb. I want to create it with strategy, with focus, with deliberation, with collaboration, with dedication and commitment of an energized spirit. And I can't do that alone. And I need you there with me. We're in this for the long haul. And I need you there showing up at your best. So thank you very much for an awesome opportunity. I really hope that I'm leaving you with something worthy and of value than the person that you arrived coming into the session. And hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Khubimboya. On Instagram, I'm Renegade, obviously, at Khubimboya1. On LinkedIn, I'm Khubimboya Arnold. And on Facebook, I'm Khubimboya. I love you. Mwah. And God bless. Mwah.
Thank you.
Powering for possibility, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are very grateful for that. And, it's been an honor indeed to have you in our midst. And, all that you've shared, from your experience, we've learned a lot from the work that you're doing and specifically assisting the entrepreneurs on some of the things that they should include in their business pitch over and above those that are pitching in Limpopo and Mpumalanga. So every entrepreneur that joined us today, you are the reason why we are doing this. You are the reason for 67 CEOs and the existence thereof. You are the reason for the Global Entrepreneurship Week. Let me just quickly say this, as I'm saying, it's something just popped into my mind. I was like an audience, obviously in person, I was like an audience like you or a delegate in 2015, 5 years ago, Global Entrepreneurship Week 2015. And that precedes the existence of 67 CEOs. But fast forward, it has been a great privilege to be able to host Global Entrepreneurship Week under the flagship of 67 CEOs Foundation. Guys, it is possible. And remember what Funmi said, which I also alluded to with the statement of Steve Jobs. You connect the dots looking backward. Things add up. Make this time and sessions that you have attended count. Please implement the things you've learned. Implement them in your businesses. That is how you are able to convert the skills and information, tangible impact, not just on yourself, but also on your business. And, it will definitely also result in revenue and profit. And that is how we are going to advance SMME or the support for SMMEs together. Marang, a special thank you to you. Always a great job. This is the third day. Tomorrow we're back here. Entrepreneurs, submit your pitch online on social media. Tag 67 CEOs and use the hashtag 67 CEOs GEW 2020 and hashtag powering possibility. Those are the hashtags you should use. Thank you very much. It's been a great day. I would recommend, like I always do, that yes, please switch on your videos, guys. Switch on your videos. Let's let's see you. Great.